Call the meeting to order. And a moment of silent prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Kindle.
Present and in the City Hall of Harper Woods.
Okay. Councilwoman Costantino.
Present from my home in Harper Woods.
Councilman Jenny.
present from my home in Harper Woods.
Councilwoman Pies.
Present from Harper Woods. I'm having some problems with my video right now.
And Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Present from my house in Harperwood.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present from my home in Harper Woods.
Councilman Toussaint.
Has not logged in yet.
Oh. Okay, and Acting City Manager Szymanski
Here.
and City Attorney DeWally.
Here.
Okay, do we need to give Councilman Toussaint an excuse, or shall we just move forward and see if he's trying to get in?
I would imagine he's probably just trying to log on because he was here previously.
Okay, will you also identify the people?
Video on.
Excuse me, Councilman Toussaint just texted me that he's having trouble getting into the meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, so we should move on then and allow Councilman Toussaint to try to get in then.
Yes.
I need an approval of the minutes. Councilwoman
Yes.
Sawicki.
I'll offer to receive, approve, and file the regular city council meeting held November 15th, 2021.
Support.
Support by Councilman Jennings. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next will be public comments on agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that wish to speak on the agenda items?
If you wish to speak, please either electronically raise your hand or unmute and identify yourself, please. Seeing none, Madam Mayor.
All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I need a resolution.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Jennings.
I'll make the resolution to approve consent agenda items 1 through 5.
Support.
Support.
Support by Councilwoman Pies. Discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I have a couple of things. One, I noticed that there's a check dated on November 18th to Arbor Professional Solutions in Ann Arbor, but it's for October ambulance services. I'm wondering if that could be explained.
Yes, that is a collection service. What happens when people do not pay their share of ambulance fees? It goes to a collection agency. The collection agencies, they file all the necessary court papers to get a creditor garnishment, and then they mail a check to us for what they collect.
So they mail us a check for what they collect.
Yes, garnishment could be a long process depending on the amount. And I want to say that garnishments, creditor garnishments are only good for 90 days at a time. And they have to be refiled in the court and attached to somebody's paycheck. And what happens is periodically we get these funds sent to us from this company.
But this looks like something we're paying, not that they're giving
Well,
to us.
we would have to pay them money for the services, part of the services, but what happens is they do collections for us.
So we pay them for the service, and then they only reimburse us if they get the collection.
Yes, that's, and more often than not, they're paying for the court fees, but there could be unusual circumstances involved in the collection of funds. And yes, quite frankly, we would pay them a little bit for a court filing, for serving a writ, what have you. And again, they would do the collections on our behalf.
On our behalf?
Yes, they're collecting our bills. They're a bill collector is what they are.
Okay, so it's a bill collector that we contract then to
Yes.
Reimburse us for ambulance services
Yes.
that are handled by MedStar. But rather than MedStar collecting it and getting the payment or whatever for it, it's actually the city then that pays for the ambulance services if the patient doesn't?
What happens is MedStar would go ahead and bill for services. We could even be in that same type of situation, providing services to somebody, inspecting, or I should say, waiting on reimbursement from an insurance company, and the insurance company may only pay up to a certain amount, and we have to collect the rest from the individual. And again, this could be a varied circumstance. And this is a collection company that specializes in just these kind of insurance payments and collection methods.
Okay, so excuse me here, I'm still trying to get this straight then. So when it comes down to the bottom line then, if the patient or user of the ambulance services does not pay, for whatever reason, never pays, then the city is liable for that money. And it's actually not MedStar that's liable for collecting that money then.
Well, there's certain parts of the fees that go to us, and there's certain, they only collect the portions that would come back to us. Maybe MedStar may accept from a certain insurance company or let's say Medicare, 100% reimbursement from Medicare. Not everybody, accepts as 100% the fees that are paid by Medicare or insurance companies. Sometimes there's costs that go above and beyond. And yes, those would be reimbursable back to the city. This company would pursue those claims if the person was working, able-bodied and willing to pay. If obviously, if there was no means, then MedStar would undergo the loss. They would absorb the loss, and whatever part the city was involved in, we would likewise absorb the loss as well.
Okay, so I rarely see this on our consent agenda, so I'm going to assume then that it rarely happens.
Yeah, this is probably for just a something that was extraordinary in the case. We usually get checks from this company. Occasionally we have to pay, a fee for somebody to serve paperwork and writs and things like that.
Okay, thank you. And I have a second question also. I noted that there's a building department, or excuse me, a building permit refund of $105. So I'm wondering then if this will get $21 then reimbursed to the city. will that show up on Safe Built's next invoice?
But what will happen is sometimes people pull permits, contractors pull permits, and then they cancel out of the work that the permit was pulled for. And it's the city's policy. If we don't do an inspection, if we don't do that work, we refund the permit fee.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any further discussions? Roll call vote. Mrs. Franks?
Councilwoman Costantino,
Yes.
Councilman Jenny,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pies,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki,
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes,
and Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, that brings us to old business, and there is none. So that bring us to new business and city manager report.
Okay, Mayor and Council, item G1, progress payment number 3, 2021 storm sewer repair program, number 180-256. Mayor and Council, attached is a letter from our city engineers transmitting progress payment number 3 on the 2021 storm sewer repair project, number 180-256. It is recommended that this payment be approved. Mayor, a resolution is needed.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilwoman Constantino.
I'll offer the resolution to approve payment to Great Lakes Contracting Solutions LLC in the amount of $20,493.64 for progress payment number 3 on the 2021 storm sewer repair project number 180-256.
Support.
Support by Councilwoman Pies. Discussion?
Yeah, really quick. How many more payments are due?
This is the third one.
This is the third payment. You know what? I'm gonna refer that to Bill Schneider here. Bill? You gotta take.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? This is a third progress payment, and this as a result of a change order because we did 6 additional storm sewer collapsing locations. So this was on an open contract. It was a change order. So that's what is reflected in that amount were 6 additional locations. And you know what? The weather has been cooperating, and there's going to be probably another change order and another progress payment forthcoming.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Councilman Jenny,
Yes.
Councilwoman Pies,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki,
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
yes,
Mayor Kindle,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Mayor and Council, that concludes the city manager's report.
All right. Right now, we'll have a call to audience, and please identify yourself.
If anyone would like to speak at this time, please unmute yourself and identify yourself so that the mayor can recognize you.
Okay.
Mr. Hakeem?
Yeah, good evening. We had a ordinance meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. We didn't have a quorum. The meeting got canceled. I was just wondering if you guys are going to reschedule that or get it rescheduled for the 1st of next month so we can get one in before the holiday and everybody disappears for Christmas. That's really it. I don't have a whole lot, but I'd really like to get that ordinance meeting done. And if everybody could show up, it'd be a nice thing. That's all.
We will reschedule a meeting.
Prior,
You're on mute.
I am muted again.
Okay.
Hopefully prior to Christmas.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak? Seeing none, we will move on to call the council. And we will start with Councilwoman Williams.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had two things. One, at a previous council meeting, it was asked about the FEMA flooding for homes. And I do know there's been some progress or inquiry made by the acting city manager. And if you want to just kind of update the public as to what you have so far.
Yeah, bad info.
I have contacted FEMA, and I happen to contact the person that's in charge of Michigan Region 5, and I am awaiting a return call. I have placed 4 calls. The director's name is Molly Rosario, and I'm waiting for her to get back so that we could discuss what Harper Woods has to do to be included on the flood map, and that's the status of where it's at right now.
Okay, thank you. And my other thing is I went to it was about small businesses and local businesses in our community. And it was a nice little meeting, very good meeting with tea. And we talked about, what we can do for some of the local businesses and maybe possibly highlighting some of these businesses and see what we could do to support them and have them support the city. So I think that would be an interesting thing to do.
Thank you.
Who hosted that?
Okay, Councilwoman Williams. Are you completed? Okay, so she put herself on mute. Councilman Ivory, Toussaint. Mr.
Oh,
Toussaint.
one question I had from Ms. Williams, Councilman Williams, was who hosted the meeting? Who sponsored it?
Ms. Lyons sponsored the meeting. So it was nice. It was a real nice meeting.
Oh, okay. So should have made it. And another question I had, Mr. Hakeem last time had brought up about flood insurance in the area. One thing is I have in my insurance policy, I do have sewer backup for you can get it for $5,000 or $10,000. And that, I've had to use that in the past, but I've had backup in that area. So I don't know if everybody has that on their insurance, it's maybe something they may want to consider. It's not quite flood, but it does cover, like sewer backups.
Okay.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman. Yeah, I have that. Most people have that. And I collected on that for this summer, which is the first time in my life I ever had to file a claim for anything with any insurance. But that has absolutely nothing to do with flood insurance. It's totally different. So don't confuse the two. There's both of them are out there. One's available, one isn't. And what the city manager is trying to find out is where, why, what, how, when we can possibly get some flood insurance. But backup insurance is a totally different thing.
All right. Thank
You
you.
used it.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One thing I just wanted to mention is that I'm very grateful we've gone back to virtual meetings. We have had 11 COVID cases since yesterday. We're right now at 1,872 total cases for our community since this whole pandemic began. And we've had 134 cases in the past 2 weeks. So that's fairly significant for our small community. People really need to start, being a little serious about this. And if you have had your vaccinations and haven't gotten a booster yet, I highly recommend it. If you haven't gotten your vaccinations, that is the best and strongest way of avoiding serious consequences of COVID. Delta is still the primary variant in our community, but as we all know, this new, I believe it's Omicron, I'm not certain if that's the correct variant name, but that is really sweeping into our country very rapidly. And from personal experience, even though my husband has been vaccinated, has had his booster, he did contract COVID. That is not unusual. However, his symptoms passed in basically 2 days. He lost his sense of smell and taste, but it came back very rapidly. And that was because he was vaccinated. He's, not in hospital. Fortunately, we've only had 54 deaths over this entire pandemic, but that's 54 people that we've lost from our community. And so people need to take it seriously because it's not going away anytime soon. And the only way it's going to be, mitigating those nasty consequences is by getting your vaccination. So I need to just put that out there. Thank the city because, even though many of our residents are vaccinated, I wish I knew the total. But even though, we don't, many of our residents are vaccinated, it's still going to pass among us. And so it's best to try to avoid, getting it. Just an FYI, my mom and I needed to take special precautions in the house to prevent us from getting it. My husband had it. He was isolated in one room of the house, which basically drove him crazy. Could have invested in Lysol. But the point is that seniors with pre-existing conditions, even though they are vaccinated, are often landing in the hospital. Those are those rare vaccinated cases that are in the hospital, often people with pre-existing conditions. And those are, generally speaking, our senior residents. And so take it seriously, get vaccinated if you haven't been yet. And thank you once again for the decision to go virtual. I think it's important.
Thank you. Councilman Jennings.
Yeah, just something really quick. I just want to thank everyone. I know Mr. Jarvis had a big part of this, and the whole community did, with the dinner for 10. Turned out to be more than that. So whoever participated, thank you very much. And I know it's a great thing to do. Maybe we can do another one after the first of the year for in between holidays or something like that. But, I appreciate everything that everyone's doing. Thank you. That's about it.
And they're also planning one for Christmas. So
Awesome.
Mary Beth called me today, and so we're trying to get those plans together for the Christmas season.
All right. Make sure I'm on the link. That'd be great.
Okay. Councilwoman Pies.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, I was disappointed that the ordinance committee meeting was canceled because we didn't have a quorum. Also, there are a couple of things that, since I'm new to the committee, I'm not sure how to go about asking for something to be on the agenda, what the requirements are, but if possible, I would like a couple of things to be put on for the next meeting, and one of them would be, oh, didn't get that down. Well, one of them would be to take another look at the animal ordinance. I know we've had a lot of concern the past month about dogs and pets being outside. And I know that we follow the recommendations of the director of Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society. And I know that there are laws, state laws that she adheres to. I think it might behoove us to have something on the record or tweak something in one of the ordinances that residents can easily refer to before they contact us. That way they may have a better understanding of how we are legally able to handle situations. And it might just be good for council members also to have a good idea about that. The other thing I would like to, hold on a second. That would, yeah, animals and fowl, that was chapter 4. So I'd like it if we could review that. Also, there was an article in the ordinances, Article 1, Section 25-5. It's prohibited parking generally. I know we've, all council members have received email about some parking infractions lately, and I know that there's been some frustration also at City Hall on our ability to get compliance with the ordinance. So I thought perhaps we could take another look at that and see if we could tweak it a little further, or at least have that open for discussion. And let's see. So those two things added to the ordinance committee agenda for next time would be great. Also, there will be an opening on the Grosse Pointe Library Board come this upcoming summer in June. Part of Harper Woods is in the Grosse Pointe school system and also has access to their library over on Vernier and Mac. So Harper Woods has a representative on their library board. So I know we'll be looking for a new one come June. And if somebody out there is interested, perhaps they could let a council person know or someone at City Hall know, perhaps our city clerk, Ms. Frank. And that's all I have to say for right now. Thank you.
All right. Councilwoman Constantino.
I don't really have anything to say new, but I do want to apologize about the meeting, the ordinance committee meeting. I got held up and wasn't able to get back in time. So I would love to have that rescheduled. Maybe we could do it for the 20th or the 13th.
We'll let you know. John will let you know.
Yes, we'll let you know. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything else? Councilwoman Constantino?
Oh, yeah, one more thing. Yeah, with these openings that we have in the boards and commissions, I would love to see some new people in some of these vacant spots. We have a vacancy in beautification, 2 vacancies in the Board of Zoning Appeals, 2 vacancies in the Construction Board of Appeals. And then we, have some other things that we could or not, appoint the people that are already there. I guess we generally like to keep the people that are there since they're experienced, if they want to still do it. But since we do have some openings, it would be great if we could recruit some new residents to apply for these positions that are open, or someone who is online who might be interested.
Okay, thank you. And being that on that same line, I was just talking to Mrs. Franks regarding revamping and looking over all the liaisons and committees for all of the commissions that we do have. So we'll be going through the entire list, and we'll be trying to place people where they need to be and make changes where changes need to be made. And that will be before the council in the very near future.
Yeah, I'm on that committee, so I would be very much interested in that. So I would like to, see that our boards and commissions reflects our entire community. And also there are some people who hold multiple positions. So if there are other people who are interested, maybe, we could give some other people some opportunities if, if there's something that might be available for them.
Yes, well, those decisions will be made at a future date. Also, I want to make sure that that everyone understands the ordinance of the city of Harper Woods, and we will be making sure that everyone is aware of the ordinances, such as putting your garbage cans in the streets, such as parking your boat and RC, recreational vehicle in your driveways. And those are all against the ordinance of the city of Harper Woods. Also parking on your grass. As you drive through the city, you see all these infractions. And so notices will be sent out with the water bill and also placed on the city website so that everyone can understand the violations that they may or may not be aware of, but we will be processing these violations in the future, beginning next year. But we first of all want to make sure everyone understands the ordinance and what violations they are doing. And that you don't put your trash out on Thursday when the pickup is on Monday. And those are the kind of things that we need to get a handle on so it does not continue to make our city look trashy. And those are some of the things that we will be addressing at the beginning of next year. I see your hand, Vivian. As soon as I'm through, I will allow you to speak. And also, some people may not like it, but there are so many people that I get so many complaints about of different things. So we're going to hold you accountable for violating the ordinance of the city of Harper Woods. So be on notice. And also, I have a new business that I had the opportunity to visit, and was the taco bar. Fantastic. It's on Kelly Road, right near Woodside. So if you haven't seen this new business, please try it. It's very good. And other than that, I think that's it, except for the fact that we will be making notice regarding the giving out of baskets and stuff for people during the Christmas holiday. The information will be posted and everyone will be notified of you wanting to participate or whatever. Vivian.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Two questions. The doggy bags, where are we on doggy bags at the park? We gone into that yet?
Yeah, we've talked, I've had a discussion with John and we're going to do that. We're going to do that.
Right. And the second thing, will our yearly calendar come out with ordinance information in that? All right.
Yeah.
That'll be up pretty soon, I take it.
But a lot of people do not take that information. You can't imagine how many calls they get here. So we want to put it off in the water bill as well as putting it on the website so people can see it and not be ignorant of the facts of what is a violation and what isn't.
And Madam Mayor, one other quick thing. I observed on the website that the website is a little dated right now.
Yes, we were just discussing that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Williams.
And thank you, Madam Mayor. I heard you mention that you would be looking over the charters and the different committees that we have. So while you're doing that, I'm thinking that maybe this would be a good time since we have a new mayor by election and new council. The council is set for the next couple of years. Maybe look at a committee for the charter. So
Yes,
we
we
can start
will.
looking over that.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, I am so much inundated with a whole lot of different things, but mainly the things that I want to do is attend to the quality of life thing to make life more comfortable and viable for our residents. And so we'll begin with the things that people seem to violate the most. And one of those is trash. And we'll move from that point on and also be able to, get things done. I promise that we will make a real difference in this coming year. And with that, I need a motion. To
Madam
adjourn.
Mayor,
Yes,
make the motion for adjournment.
yes.
Support.
All right.
Support.
Any discussion? So all in favor?
Aye.
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 An hour, just an hour today.
All right. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Good night,
Have a great
everybody.